Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the weekend AMA. Tea's still hot. For those of you who don't know, every weekend I do a AMA where I will do a video, discussion, something like that, to tell you all how much I love you. No, to answer your questions, try to provide some value, all that sort of good stuff, some mentoring, right? Just to shoot the shit sometimes even. So I usually like to start with a question, but I don't really have a question. It's been kind of a hectic time in my life, and so instead, I'll just tell you about what's next for me, and what's going on in my life. So for those of you who may have heard, I had at one time accepted a new job offer at a different company, and I have now accepted a counter offer at my current company. So that's something that's been happening in my personal life, in my professional life. I I accepted a counter offer, and I'm very happy, and I'm very excited about the direction of my current company. So that happened. So I've been in contract negotiations with that for this last week, and we finally had everything inked out, settled. We're all good there. I've also started writing a book. I'm about 5,000 words into what I am thinking is going to be uh, thinking is going to be around a 200,000 word book, and the book's going to cover a lot of different topics. It's essentially going to be really, at the end of the day, a written, organized version of my videos. So that's something that I've been doing, and so that's been a focus of mine. If you are like a hardcore watcher of the channel, you'll know that I put out a only a single video this week. That's because I'm in the process of hiring a video editor. So I've been sending things back and forth and getting, I just tried out one video editor. He did okay, but it didn't really quite work. So I'm going to hire about 4 or 5 other ones, and I'm going to send them the content, and I'm going to hire the one that works. So, you're going to see a little bit higher quality content than before. Things with maybe transitions, things with text on the screen, jump cuts a little bit. Still the same content, just edited a little bit better. So that's been something that I've been working on in the background, as well as searching for a house. I spent all day looking at houses. I'm looking at a house in the $250,000 to $350,000 range. I'll be buying my very first house, and it's been quite the journey thus far. And that's really what's been going on with me. Invest in a better quality camera. Yeah, this is a webcam, but in the future, that is something that's going to happen after I buy my house. So I plan on spending about $1,000 on a new camera, but I need all my money right now to for the down payment. But a new camera and a microphone, as well as just like doing all these videos in the office, is something that's going to be coming in the near future as well. So it's this last 6 months or so has been about getting that next career jump, if you will, that next pay bump, the next where am I going to spend the next part of my life in a career sense, and that has been solved now, and I'm very excited about that. And now it's about, okay, how am I going to progress as a developer, and how am I going to move my side project along a little bit, and sort of take it from a side project to a part-time job, if that makes sense, I suppose. So, but yeah, counteroffers are. Now, I'm not going to go too much into detail in my personal situation, because I don't think my workplace would appreciate that. But counteroffers can be a interesting item. I will say that by and large, a lot of people recommend that you don't take counteroffers, because now there is a trust issue. Now there is well, he left us once, isn't he going to leave again, sort of thing. And that's to be honest, that's a fairly valid argument, but you have to take everything on a case by case basis. And in my case, I felt like we were on the same page, and now everything's good. And now instead of worried about, oh, I gotta get out of here or whatnot, all right, there's better opportunities. There's a great opportunity right here, and on top of that, I can help being part of the solution, part of the success story, and really understand my value to an organization. So you have to do it on a case by case basis, but typically I would say no to counteroffers, but not always, as I clearly accepted one. So you know, it's but here's the thing, man. Good count. You first off, I can neither confirm nor deny such a statement. Um, so life is good though, man. Life is good. It is. I'm happy. I'm excited about the future of the channel. It's gonna slow down a little bit. I might be doing one video a week while I figure out this. Figure out the direction that I'm trying. Not direction. I know the direction I want to go. Right now, I've been filming a lot of videos about professionalism, and I've been writing about that in the book. And so, like, I've been writing about that a lot in the book, and I've been talking about things that have happened to me recently. Right, I'm a big proponent of sort of getting your life issues down, and sort of understanding what it is you're trying to get across. And so for me, it's like I'll have some videos talking about contract negotiations. I'll have some things talking about resignations. I'll have some things talking about counteroffers. All items that I think you'll need to be a good professional. Make sure that you're handling your career with this as much intelligence as you're handling your code. So this is sort of what I'm trying to do of being a good mid-level developer. Okay, what's the next step? Well, for me, I'd like to go be a good senior developer. In reality, what I would like to happen is go ahead and skip senior, just go straight to team lead. So how can we do that? How can I put in the work to get to that point in time and make sure I have the skill as well? And there's some levels of professionalism. So professional videos about professionalism are sort of what the direction of the channel is going to go into for the next short horizon. I have one or two more videos I want to write about clean code as well. But yeah, it's been a journey the last 2-3 weeks, man. I'll tell you that much, because it's stressful, right? When you don't know, you're like, am I starting this new job? Am I staying at my current job? What's happening? Where are we? How does that impact my career? What's best for my career? So it's one of those items where you have to take your career and as seriously as you should. I know I have taken it very seriously, and it's paid off dividends for me quite a bit. But yeah, so that's been what I've been up to. What about you guys? Let's see, some questions. Here's a question for you. I'm writing a book, as I mentioned. I don't think it's going to get done for about a year. I'm giving myself till the end of 2019, so about a year and 4 months is I'm giving myself to write it. So the way that I write a book is I just freehand. I don't even take care of spelling mistakes, any of that. Like, I'm just getting the idea. It's just word vomit for idea after idea after idea, and then I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna edit each section piece by piece, and it's gonna be an iterative process, as writing should be. So the reason I say this is there are services like LeanPub where I can actually write on their platform, and you can buy the book early. And say you want to give some feedback where you're like, all right, I'm going to pay Dylan $20 for his book. a year and 4 months before it's even out, and I want to see the book as it continues to be developed. And from that, I can actually give feedback. Hey, man, I know on this one topic of contract negotiations, it's just what's on my mind lately. Contract negotiations. You said this. Can you elaborate on that? Because as someone, I'm still fairly new to this, and I don't understand it. You have the opportunity to say that and provide value as the book's being developed. Now you have to pay for that, and you're paying early. You're paying way early for an unfinished product. But if that's something that you guys think you might be interested in, please let me know, because I haven't really decided if that's what I want to do or if I just want to wait until there's a finished product. What technologies am I looking forward to learning next? That's a very good question. I mean, for a while, I was really looking forward to blockchain, but now that I'm going to be staying where I'm at, I don't know that I have the motivation to look into blockchain. I've been playing around in Vue. I really like Vue. Oh, I don't know, man. I think for me the next step. I mean, here's the thing, guys. It's like I don't know, and it's sort of a strange and scary feeling of I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing because it's been working, I guess. I'm gonna keep reading the books, the software books that are making me a better developer. I'm gonna keep doing the YouTube channel. I'm gonna keep building projects and all that sort of stuff. But in terms of technologies, this year isn't about technologies. This year is about has been about, I should say, getting better on fundamentals, writing cleaner code, understanding what it means to be a professional, getting more familiar with testing, solid principles. That's what this year has been about. And I personally can say that has leveled me up from a good junior developer to an upper mid to close to senior developer in a relatively short amount of time. But it's because I've you just got to put the work in. But yeah, life is good, man. I mean, you're reading Clean Coder, good, man. It's an excellent book. Any of you are interested in Clean Coder, there's a link in the description under the book section that you can get probably the number one book I would recommend that you read to really step your game up. So, Monkey Devs, there's several books in the description below. I'm also reading two others, but I don't like recommending them until I'm done reading them. So I'll follow up shortly. Anytime I have a software book that I read, I'll do a book review on it. But yeah, so but I mean, there are some things in technologies I'm looking forward to learning next. So I do front end exclusively, and honestly, my CSS skills have been quadrupled this last year. I feel like I have a much better understanding of the fundamentals of CSS and items in it. So now y'all are so worried about this whole ring thing, man. The next major milestone of my life is buying a house, getting a dog, and finishing a book. So that's sort of where I'm at. I am looking for a video editor. You can email me at dylansemail310@gmail.com. I hired someone from Upwork. They did an all right job, but I need something a little bit more professional. So we'll see what happens. I'm hiring probably next week about 5, and whoever does the best job will probably get hired. It's going to be a long-term arrangement, more or less. Do you think a 43-year-old will have a problem finding a job as a junior developer? I don't think age really has much to do with it, Shane. I think, yeah, it's in Upwork. So I mean, people may disagree with the statement. I think it's age doesn't have anything to do with it. I think it's more so about skill level. Um, my boss, but my boss is younger than me. Just for the record, I think he's 28. I'm about to turn 31 in October, so he's a few years younger than me. We're around the same age, but he's younger than me. And chances are your boss, Shane, if you're getting hired at 43, will be younger than you. What I can say is just take care of your health in general, and this is not a age thing, but this is a hey, we want a healthy person who's gonna be well rested and can do a good job. But also just be prepared, man. A lot of older gentlemen who I have met, um, um, they haven't been as prepared as they should be for interviews. And that's hard, right? Because at 43 years of age, you probably have kids, you probably have a wife, a mortgage. You have things that you have to do, and it's hard to get to that level of proficiency. Then someone who's 25 who doesn't have those items, and their time can be devoted entirely to software, right? So the thing is just to make sure that you have the skill. That's really the thing at the end of the day. How does a junior get ready for interview questions? I mean, there's technical interview questions and there's phone screen questions. Phone screen questions, but if you do enough interviews, you know what they're going to ask most of the time. And if you code enough, the phone screen questions aren't really any issue. It's the technical interviews, and you can practice, right? My algorithm course, I go over not only phone screen questions, but I also go over 100 different algorithms to solve to prep you for those technical interviews. How often do I design layouts? Never. Design is not my job. My job is to build. I am if you want to think about this as building the house, I am the construction worker. I build it. Now, I do design in the background, so you could say you do a little bit of architecture, but not like UI, which is, I think, where you're getting at. We typically either the UI isn't super important, depending on the project, or maybe we have a UI UX guy or a third party that's contracted out to do that. Any good alternatives? PHP, C# and .NET. But yeah, so it really kind of depends in that aspect, where sometimes I have to design things and it's like, well, I'm not really a designer. I'd like to be at some point in time, but I haven't. That will probably be my next year goal. I might go to like a UI UX boot camp and just see if I can attend for free for some videos, and then focus on getting those UI UX skills. No, they don't, Peter. Yeah, so one thing that gets confused by a lot of people is that front end and UI UX are the same thing. You go in the fridge, anything you want, only if you stack $100 bills in that fridge. Otherwise, I'm all right. I keep that money chilled. But no, and that's not necessarily your guys' fault or anything like that. A lot of times, what happens is smaller organizations, or I shouldn't even say smaller organizations, just organizations will try and combine roles that shouldn't be combined. If I'm constantly using YouTube to learn coding, will that be worth it? That's a strange question. YouTube should just be one of many resources you're using to get better at software development. I use YouTube I use courses. I use coworkers, mentors, mentoring, books, other websites, Free Code Camp, Code Academy. Although I haven't really been using either one of those anymore. So it's one of those things where it should just be one of many. Did you ever think of creating a Discord channel and have discussion? I did, and I have one created that I haven't used or anything. And it's one of those things where I'm rarely on Discord. The only time I ever hop on Discord is lately I've been playing a little bit of World of Warcraft with a buddy of mine for work. But what book did you read that had a great impact on you as a developer? There's a link in the description for this, but The Clean Coder I really enjoyed. It's about professionalism and how to conduct yourself as a software developer. Good places to practice algorithms, beginner, intermediate level. I'd highly recommend my 100 algorithm challenge course, which you can get with the link in the description for $10, man. Am I planning to transition to a different role? No, I enjoy front end. I just got a promotion. I'm happy in the front end. I think that's between us, boys. I don't think they've made that announcement yet, but I think it happens next week. But I'm trusting all 36 of you right now. No, so that's good. I'm just trying to get better, man. Being better at UI UX is a good thing to have at the end of the day. So. And I want to get better. It's been kind of strange. I used to hate CSS. I kind of enjoy it. It's this weird puzzle that doesn't really make sense all the time. Do you think a person can become a good web dev if they don't have good analytical thinking? I think first off, you have to stop thinking that you're bad at thinking, like analytical thinking. And that's the first challenge. And then just practice and get better, and you'll be better. Yeah. So, and the thing is, the more you bring to the table, the better off you're going to be. Not every company is going to want you to be great at UI UX, but if you are, that's great. So it's just one of those things where I just want to get better, man. And that's something that I've always had since I've started software development. I'm a little tired, man. My girlfriend kept me up late last night because she was sewing some shit, and I'm getting wrinkles, man. Look at this. This is stress right here. What do I think of Flutter? I haven't used it yet. I will say that given a couple months and I go buy a house and I'm kind of settled, I think I will dive back into in 2019. So in about 4 months, I'll switch off and I'll dive into so I have yearly plans. This year was about getting better at fundamentals and upping my software writing skills, like my coding skills. Not about technologies. I haven't really fully decided what 2019 is going to be about, but I think 2019 is going to be about finishing the book. It's going to be about going to 2 conferences, and it's going to be about speaking at some meetups. So that's going to be what I'm going to spend 2019 on. So like those are going to be more of a, I'm not sure how to put it, a networking or a in-person development. I'm struggling with a way to define. define what that sort of theme would be, but that's what I'm leaning towards by 2019, what I want to accomplish. So I want to go to 2 conferences. I want to speak at meetups and maybe even a conference, and then I want to finish my book and guest on some podcasts. Speaking of which, I need to reach out to the boys in SF about guesting on their podcast because I'm going to be back in California in the November area for Thanksgiving for about 10 days. What skill sets do you want to achieve in your life? I don't really worry about that. If whichever ones are in demand, I suppose, will be the ones that I have. But really, the things that I am looking to improve upon is public speaking / communication. I am looking for to stay motivated, and I'm looking to continue learning. So anything that falls into sort of that trifecta there is what I'm trying to achieve. So the thing about algorithms, guys, that you have to understand is you don't learn algorithms because you're going to use them every day, especially in the front end. You learn algorithms because it teaches you how to write code, and it's an excellent way to reprogram your brain, I guess. It shows that you know how to use your language and that you can write code. How to stay motivated if you're in college and your classmates code? I don't know, man. You're asking the wrong guy. I'm a 2-time college dropout. So don't ask me how to stay motivated in college. I hated college. It's worthless, man. What I've been able to do in 2 to 3, I've been a developer for 2 years. Life is going fantastic. It's only getting better. What I've been able to do in 2 years outside of college compared to the 6 years I did going half-ass, unmotivated, hating, and being miserable at college, I'm the last person you want to ask for. How's the new job going? Well, I accepted a counteroffer, so I'm at the same job, but life is good. Life is very good. I'm very happy. You're a 4-time college dropout? Bro, 3 strikes, you're out. What are you doing? The only way I would go back to college at this point in time is if an organization paid for it. So not only would they have to pay for it, they would have to pay for it, and they would have to guarantee me a promotion after I finished. That'd be the only way I think I could go back. Where it was like, okay, I'm going to knock this out. You're paying for it, and I'm going to get some financial return that's going to be good for the career for it. That's the only way I could see myself ever going back. Even then, I think April would probably tell me not to. I'm not quite sure what you're saying, Explorer. Sorry, man. One time dropping out of college was free. The other 3. Hey, man, look, I hear you. I went back a second time because I needed to know about going back, and I've always had that chip on my shoulder. It's gone now. I would say it's officially gone. I no longer have a chip on my shoulder. I am happy where I am in my career and life. I'm successful at my objectives. I'm continuing to improve, and I'm doing, as far as careers go, I'm doing very well. I am whatever self-esteem issues I had being a college dropout, I would say, are gone and filled with other things. And it's taken a lot of hard work and sort of to have these things to support myself on, because we're so ingrained to have that in you, right? But is CodeFights the best site for algorithms? So CodeFights actually renamed themselves to Code Signal for some reason. So it's how old am I? I am 30. 30, the big 30. I'll be 31. God, I feel like I just turned 30. This is crazy. I'll be 31 in 2 months. Don't say it so. 2 months. Why? I jump from one technology to another, end up learning nothing. What should I do? Any advice? Stop jumping from one technology to another. Just stay in one stack. I don't know what PL is. Should I focus on learning JavaScript? JavaScript's a great language to learn because from looking at what you basically said is that you know HTML, CSS, and you don't really know a programming language. You know a database language. We don't know a programming language. So ways to make passive income. The ways I do it is with the YouTube channel. Also investments. Although all my money's not invested right now because I'm looking to buy a house. I have to sell it all and put it on one big pot essentially. And on top of that, it is you could do write a book. I'm writing a book. You could release courses. I've released courses, all that sort of stuff. I mean, it's one thing to jump from the front end to back end and do a full stack. That's fine. It's going to be a little hard, especially when you're getting going. But if you're just jumping back and forth, you're gonna have, especially when you're just getting going, you're gonna have a hard time mastering your craft, right? Websites or podcasts learning about tech or programming? I haven't really listened to any podcasts. This is where I've been dropping the ball. I listen to music in the morning when I go to work, and I usually have a phone call for half the drive with April on the way back, and I throw music on. I could, in theory, be putting about an hour of extra time in for my morning commute, but I haven't really found the need to. I wake up in the morning, I study, I work on YouTube, I do whatever, I write in the book, and I read a chapter of my book every day. So your last AMA sessions have motivated me a lot. Thank you. You're welcome, man. I mean, that's what this is about, right? It's about to keep you guys on the straight and narrow. Like, it ain't about me. Let me put it that way. Is the AMAs are not for me. I do these for you guys because I'm on the straight and narrow, and I understand straight and narrow being just like staying motivated and having fun and continuing learning, right? Being happy. I know what's worked for me, and I'm happy to tell you it. Hopefully, it will work for you. But I don't really get any value out of these. I enjoy them because we get to talk. We get to. It's always fun to talk about software, right? But in the past 2 years, have you ever met people who only wanted to be around you because you were a dev making money? You mean like there's people in my life that were like, yo, man, Dylan's got his finances together. Let me hop on the gravy train. Let me explain this to you. My car, brand new, is $13,000. It's a 2015 Mitsubishi Mirage. It has 3 cylinders. I essentially paid for it in cash. So what I'm trying to say is that I don't need to flaunt finances or that things are good or anything like that, but you definitely wouldn't know. I walk out this house in like a gaming shirt and flip-flops into a car that is missing a hubcap. It's an okay car. It drives, it gets good gas mileage, and it still has another 35,000 miles on its warranty. But every day I see people who are driving $50,000 cars making half as much or making a significant less amount of money. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that no one would really know that I'm doing okay financially at the end of the day. And if they did, they ain't getting any of my money. Like I don't know what you're getting at. You could I'll give you an example. My father, he's gone through a couple hard times last year, but for the majority of my life has been what people would consider very well off. Makes much more than I make, even today. That ain't my money. I'm his son, right? I don't have access to that. I am his son, his firstborn. That ain't my money. I got nothing to do with that, right? So if you think you're just going to roll up in my life and start spending my cash, you don't know me very well. Because I am cheap, son. The only thing I've balled out on is my computer. My computer today is almost worth as much as my car. So, and my house I'm about to buy. Yeah. Look, when I think I'm balling. I was talking with my buddy. I was talking with my buddy the other day, or like yesterday when we were playing WoW, and I have this horrible feeling that I'm gonna go and ball out of control on a house. So I don't know. I have no debt. My credit score is not the best, but I have no debt. Right, I'm still rebuilding my credit. So the whole thing is, if I was going to spend money, what would I spend it on? It's like, I guess a house. And that's what I'm thinking. It's just about balling hard and buying a house. So we'll see what happens. But like a nice house. Dude, I'm not bullshitting you guys. And it's amazing. It's amazing what you can get for an extra $100,000 in Florida, man. Go from a $300,000 house to a $400,000 house. Whew. I was looking the other day, man. We looked at a place. We looked at a place yesterday. It was a model. Is 3,300 square feet. It's like 6 bedrooms, 5 baths. So where do I sign? Show me the paper. Where's my real estate agent? I want this house. It was beautiful, man. It was like, I need 3 bedrooms. April needs 3 bedrooms. We're set. All right. Yeah, it was a nice house. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So like, if I bought a nice, bigger house, this house was particularly cool because they had a separate like kitchen, bathroom, and bedroom, and kind of closed off to the door. So, it allowed us to, like, if we wanted to, let's just say rent it out. if we wanted to, let's say, rent it out, we could rent it out and never know they're there. We still have 5 bedrooms. So I don't know. We had a 3-car garage. We only have 1 car. It's one of those things where I was looking at it, I was like, I don't need all this, but is it about need today, or are we balling? Because when you ball, you get things you want. All right. I don't know. It was fun though looking at it. We'll see. Shout out to our boys from India and France for that matter. I mean, you guys are really interested in how much money I make. I do very well. I'm in the without giving a number, I am in the let me see. I'll give you an hourly rate. You guys gotta go figure out the math yourself. So if you were to take my salary and make it hourly, I'd be about $50 an hour. Yeah, see, here's the thing. Like, my shirts are $10. Like, this shirt I have on, I got free from a hackathon. I don't spend money on anything, right? Except my computer is the only thing I spend on. So, it'd be the house is like going to be the first thing I really am like. Edward did his math wrong. But yeah, so yeah, life is good, man. Dance the floss? I don't even know what that is. How do you go from $8,000 a month to $416,000 a year? Where do you see something wrong in your math there? Jesus. Anyhow, guys, we'll leave it at that. Math is hard. I know. I know. Anyhow, guys, have a good one. I'll see you next time. I gotta go work on a video for tomorrow still. I appreciate y'all. Bye.